Anything short of a Super Bowl, a disappointment, bro.
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Yes. They're supposed to be. They're the Dallas Cowboys. I know you guys weren't around other than the 90s when they were great in the 70s. All right?
I think Wiles is actually older than you. He just wears it differently.
No, that is when they became America's team. I know you've changed
You're talking about the
that.
1970s?
That's when they were
Tom
first called
Landry.
America's team, 1977, I
Roger
believe it was.
I know, okay.
Yeah, Tony Dorsett, all those
I
guys.
understand, but it's been 50 years.
Well, then they had
It was
to
a
run
new
in the
America's
90s.
team.
But I get it. But they still, look, Dak is absolutely right. Every year is Super Bowl or bust, especially when you have a pretty good team. All right, one, because they're the Cowboys. Two, because your owner's out there running his mouth all the time about how good you are. And so that does put the Super Bowl or bust mandate on the team. And this year, I mean, look, if you're going to get there, there's really not much of a better year than this one to do it. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady have left the conference. You got Philadelphia that lost its two offense and defensive coordinators. You got San Francisco who's the quarterback? Who knows?
Caleb's not in the NFL yet.
Okay.
But yes. All right, we'll take that.
Yeah.
All right, but if this is the year, this should be the year. And I'm going to say it. Last year I thought it was appropriate, and this year I think it's appropriate. If Dak Prescott is who we think he is, or he's supposed to be, they will at least get to the NFC title game. At least.
That's the bar. Conference title game. Do you know how incredibly rare it is for a team to make the conference title game and look at the season as a failure? Here's when it happens. The Chiefs and the Chiefs last year, when they were at home, huge favorites, perennial Super Bowl contenders, they made the conference title game and blew it. That felt like a failure. The Bills, when they
with
made
the 13 seconds?
That was the divisional round. They didn't even make the conference title game. The Bills, when they made it a few years ago, was like, yes. The Packers, the year that they lost to Brady, because they had been there the previous year. They felt like it was close. But you make the conference title game, this is what I would argue. And this is not a Chiefs take, I promise. Every team in the league but the Chiefs this year, if they make the conference championship game, they had a good season.
No, but are they going to feel? Philadelphia will not be happy if they make the conference.
Yes, they will.
I don't even think
Yes, they will.
Why?
Yes, they will.
We went to the Super Bowl and now we got to the conference.
It's
Really,
like
you think
Cincinnati
Jalen
last year.
Hurts is going to be satisfied getting to the Final Four?
That's a different thing. I do think in the moment people will be disappointed. I think everyone, when their season ends, is disappointed. I think Jalen Hurts was disappointed last year, right?
Yes, but that was a good season, obviously.
And if they make it back to the conference title game, it's a good. Okay, so
what did he say? You got to fail forward.
Okay, so your argument then is fine. Then it's Kansas City and Philly are the only two. Then
I definitely think Dallas.
Dallas has
There's no bust to it.
There isn't right.
What busts? Nothing. It's like, well, we'll try again next year.
The bust is 26 years worth of futility.
Right.
Okay, that's what we're saying.
Brew, but that ends by making the conference championship game. Can we show it to you? What Brew's talking about. Can we show you the medals if we could? Look. Gold medal means you won the Super Bowl. Silver medal means you lost the Super Bowl. Bronze medal means you lost the conference title game, but at least you got there. There are 3 teams that have 0 medals in the last 27 years. If the Lions, Brew, make the NFC championship game, it's not a failure.
The Lions are not the Cowboys.
The Cowboys aren't the Cowboys, is my point.
That's
the
exactly
Cowboys
right.
But they think they're the Cowboys.
But if they...
You heard Dak Prescott? We the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Of course it's Super Bowl or bust every single year.
Yeah, but that's wrong.
It doesn't happen.
It's wrong.
It doesn't happen.
Perception is what? Reality.
Come on. I don't know if it's 50%. I know it's possession.
Perception is reality.
No,
look, it's Super Bowl or bust. I'm sorry. It's Super Bowl or bust.
Go ahead.
If the Chiefs don't, as a fellow Chiefs fan,
stop it.
Well, I'm just saying.
Stop it.
If the Chiefs don't win the Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl, we would destroy you. We would tear you to shreds.
Exactly.
Maybe probably both of us.
Yeah.
And then you would be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
If the Cowboys don't make it to the Super Bowl, we'd be like, hey.
If the Cowboys
nothing changes. No one gets fired.
Here's the point I'm making, Brew. If you have if your company has its best year in more than a quarter century, you can't say it was a failure.
It's fair.
Right?
Here's the thing. If the chairman of the board, the owner of the company is constantly walking through the hallways talking about, I want to be number one. We want to be the best company in our field this year. And you keep falling short. And you used to be number one. See, that's the thing.
That's when his dad was running the company.
But still,
was 40
that's
years
the
ago.
standard.
It was 40 years, well,
30.
30, 3 decades ago. Half the
When
country
you
has never
hear-
seen
Hold on.
the Cowboys
Let me
be
ask you a
great.
question.
When you hear people on television, Michael Irvin, others talk about the Cowboys, not even former Cowboys, just NFL people, do they talk about them like they're the Lions?
No, but
or like
I'm not,
they're
that's
some
why I'm not
horrible
saying just
franchise?
make for the Lions making the playoffs is huge success. Let me ask you a question. If all of a sudden, in 9 months, MySpace was the number 2 social media network in the world, would we say that's a wild, what a turnaround, what a success? Or would we be like, number one 20 years ago?
They gotta be back to number one.
If all of a sudden people are like, it's like, hey, what internet provider do you use? And they're like, hey, AOL. That's what I go with. If they got to number 3, again, we would say, well, you can't be happy with that because in the 90s you were number 1. Or it'd be like, hey, yeah, that's a massive step in the right direction.
It's different because on paper, they don't lack anything.
Okay, well, that I agree with. That part I agree with.
So it should be Super Bowl or bust.
Okay. All right. So
Seriously.
Wilds' take that you have to tell me what the bust means it's one of your better takes.
Oh, thanks.
So, like, what is it? Is someone getting fired? Is Dak getting replaced? None of that's happening.
There's no
If
bust.
they make the conference championship game, people are getting raises and promotions, not firing. So there's no bust.
There's no bust.
That-
There isn't.
That's why I
If
said it's a good take.
if Dak's not getting replaced no matter what,
So
they
nothing
could miss the
happens.
playoffs and Dak won't be
So that's what I'm
replaced.
saying. They'd be like,
No, but
sounds
McCarthy would be. If they miss the playoffs,
McCarthy
McCarthy
would.
would be.
Earlier this week, we saw a little dust-up between Trayvon and Dak, and personally, I thought this was nothing. And turns out I was right yet again.
I got to tell you, I don't share that leadership style. So, I got to tell you, good for Dak, but I don't. That's
Trash! You're trash!
That's not how I would go about it. Go ahead.
Oh, so we're spinning that off into an offense versus defense conversation, which
Yeah.
is more pivotal to the Cowboys' success.
I think it's unquestionably their defense. Their defense can be the best in the league. Their offense isn't going to be. Their defense last year was number 5 in points, number 1 in takeaways, number 3 in sacks. They spent their first-round pick on defense. They might have the single best defensive player in the league. They might, Micah Parsons certainly in that discussion. And 8 times this year, they play what I would consider markedly below average quarterbacks. Twice against Howell, a rookie in Bryce Young, Brock Purdy, McCorkle, Colt, and twice against Daniel Jones. Another 3 or 4 games are against
quarterbacks are good.
What'd you say?
I could make an argument that those quarterbacks are underrated.
Okay, well that's
All
fine.
of them.
The all of them?
Well, not all of them.
Okay.
Well, you know,
Yeah, I know you
part
like
of the Sam
Purdy and you like
squad.
Howell and
Brock
you like
Purdy's
Mac.
undefeated
I
in games
understand.
that he's not.
That's fine.
Seriously.
103 passer rating.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. My point is, a great defense with half your schedule being against, forget the elite quarterbacks, the below average quarterbacks, that alone should be a 7-1 stretch against those guys if you have a great defense. Then in your games against Rodgers, Herbert, Stafford, who we'll see, Hurts you get a couple times, Geno, Josh Allen, Tua, and Goff, all Dak's got to do is win half those and you're a 13-win team. So to me, the defense can be great. The offense can be very good. So the defense is the answer.
I'm looking at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
More pivotal.
Yeah.
That's the key word, pivotal.
Okay.
It's not saying what side of the football will they be best on.
Yeah.
It's not saying what's going to be the strength of the team. What's more pivotal?
Yeah.
I was an English major. That's why
I know,
I'm
you
harping
always
on
tell
this.
us that.
I'm just saying. Pivotal means what's the crucial element? The defense is going to be fantastic. I agree with you. Defense is going to be fantastic.
Doing all this so we
The
can
question is the offense. What is going? Those are where the question marks are. Can Tony Pollard handle 17 games of 20 plus touches a game? Because Zeke's gone.
Yeah.
Can he handle that? And they
He's never
don't.
done.
Who knows who's behind him? I mean, Ronald Jones will be back after game 2. How's Brian Schottenheimer going to be as the OC? How's Mike McCarthy going to manage the offense?
Lost Dalton Schultz.
Is Dak Prescott going to continue turning the football over like he did last year? The questions are all offense. Defense going to be legit, but they still going to have to score points. You know this, Nick. The last, 2 playoff games they've lost, they gave up 3 touchdowns total.
Yeah.
None of them passing.
Yeah.
Because the offense couldn't do a thing. So the offense is more pivotal.
Got there. Coming up next, Weird and Wonderful. And Josh
Wilds is a jerk today, man.
I didn't
Wow.
What?
That was good. I'm pleased with my segment.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.